Instagram, full of lies. We all know this, especially when it comes to those viral hacks, because what you see in the finished result almost can never be achieved by following those tutorials. Or can they? Today I'm testing out 3 viral video production hacks I found on Instagram to see if they actually work or if there's a little bit of trickery going on. Let's investigate. This first hack is from Bored Panda, featuring a creator named Tori Shoko. You'll see as she's shooting, when she's finishing up the shot, she whips her arm around to get that really high speed motion and creates these really interesting transitions, all with a phone camera. Allegedly. Now, these looks replicate this type of transition that's very popular in a lot of video production right now. It's actually like a plugin you can get for your editing system. Like, I'm on Final Cut, so you can see that I use this effect in my projects. But what the hack is here on Instagram is she's just doing it by moving her phone. So this tutorial didn't have a lot of instructions, and it's a little confusing to me what her camera settings are, because this shot tells me it's in slow motion, but a lot of the other shots seem to be in real time. So we're gonna try to replicate it. I decided that I'm going to set my phone in slow motion because I can always speed it up later, but once you shoot something at regular speed, you really can't slow it down. So I figured that was the safe bet since I wasn't quite sure what she was doing. So I headed out back with my husband and our dog and tried to replicate this sequence shot for shot. I'm well aware of how ridiculous I look. And unfortunately, there was one shot we couldn't get because our talent was being really difficult. It's the one time this dog doesn't want to hang his head out the window. When I brought the shots into post, I found that even if I sped up the shots to a normal rate, that arm whipping motion wasn't really fast enough to get that like dramatic move look that she achieved in her videos. So I do think there's a bit of trickery going on. I used the blade speed tool in Final Cut to speed ramp these shots, so I slowed them down and then sped them way up at the transitions. And I do think that I kind of replicated the look that she had, and I think that's probably what she's doing in post. It's not just a matter of whipping your arm out, but I will give Tori props because her camera work with that little phone is actually really good. She makes it look easy, but I can tell you it's harder than it looks. She's obviously very practiced at it, and I think you could achieve this look if you practiced as well, but just know you're going to need to do some editing and a little bit of speed ramping to really achieve this effect. All right, before I get to my next hack, if you like this video, if you think it's fun to watch, let me know. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and even drop a comment if you want. I read them all. This next hack is from 5 Minute Tricks, which pretty much tells you it's probably not going to be accurate, right? And also the subtitles on this, I think, are in German or Swedish. I don't really know, but I'm doing my best to replicate this tutorial step by step. So in this video, she takes a beauty mirror that rotates and she covers the mirror with some strips of tape and then uses sunlight to reflect onto a colored background, and she shoots a cosmetic product with this interesting lighting effect. All right, so we shot this in my studio, which doesn't have any windows, so we decided to use an artificial light source to achieve this look. I really replicated the position of her tape as best I could because I really wanted to achieve the same effect. All right, and the next piece is we need our product. We've got Lash Paradise, Mascara of Champions, recommended by many a YouTuber. So when we first set it up, I used this light panel bi-color light. But the problem I got is that this light is made up of a lot of different bulbs. So when I tried to reflect it with the mirror, you can see I get this like grid pattern. And so next we tried to add some diffusion over this light to try to blur out those harsh lines. Then the lighting wasn't bright enough, so I really had to pull out the big guns. This is a very high powered light. Now the challenge was trying to position the mirror at the proper height. So I used this ladder, and finally we got the shot. I would say that I actually replicated this shot almost exactly. I was able to do it, but it took a lot of moving elements around. It was kind of exhausting. And I have to say, thinking about it, the way that they did it in the Instagram video, they used sunlight. And that does seem like it might be simple, but in reality, it might be really hard. First of all, you have to shoot at the right time of day when the sun is low. You have to have a window in the right spot for that light to stream in, and it can't be obstructed by a tree or a bush because you need nice, even light. And then you need to be able to find your angle really quick before that sun starts to set and set up your paper roll and your product. This 5-minute trick cannot possibly be a 5-minute trick, and it might not be achievable for everybody depending on where they live and what their window setup is and where they can put that product. So I would say this is definitely not a 5-minute trick, but if you really liked this mottled light look, your best bet would probably be to set up an artificial light source and then cut these shapes out of a piece of cardboard or foam core and suspend that in front of the light to get that effect. I do think that's probably the easiest way you can achieve it instead of futzing around with this mirror and waiting for the sun to hit the right spot. This last trick is also from 5-minute Tricks. This creator turns their iPhone upside down so that the lens is on the bottom and then uses a napkin as a slider on the countertop to achieve this effect. All right, let's watch me try it. Yeah, this hack definitely works. I will say that I have like a professional tabletop dolly that I spent a lot of money on many years ago. The price of these has really come down, but that works great because the motion is incredibly smooth. The napkin isn't quite so smooth, and it definitely doesn't help you with the steering. It's really easy to veer off from side to side using that napkin, but honestly, a napkin is like pretty much free, and this really is a 5-minute trick. I say this one definitely works. Is the shot that amazing? What do we think about the merits of the shot? I'd say that's subjective. I'm not like in love with this, but yeah, this definitely works, and it definitely works in less than 5 minutes. You guys, I have so much fun trying these crazy hacks for you. I have a whole playlist of them right here you definitely want to check out. If you see any other hacks that you want me to try for you, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I will see you again.